ROBLOX, I have picked about 50 ROBLOX games that you, my dear viewer, can play on your phone and your computer. Whether you feel bored or if you want underrated games that you can play on your phone, this video was made for you. Here you will see 50 ROBLOX games of various genres such as horror, simulators, shooters, obbies, survival games, and much, much more. I can probably guarantee that you have never seen these games before. Now, I don't really have enough time for this because I have about 10 minutes to tell you about all 50 games that you can play, so let's start, shall we? So let's take a look at some of the adventure games to start off this video. First game on our list is going to be Robot 64, an awesome platformer game where you play as a little robot and your objective is to collect all of the ice creams across different maps. Second game on our list is going to be This Is No Simulator! As the title suggests, this game is not a simulator, but it is an adventure game. You have to choose a certain option that the narrator gives you in order to progress through multiple story paths that you can take. Third game on our list is going to be an amazing game called Moving On, a game with astonishing graphics about a person who moves out of his family house. You have to solve the same type of puzzle on 3 maps in order to finish the game. Fourth game on our list is going to be Write a Letter, a fun social hangout game with many areas to see and many items to obtain. Next game on our list is going to be Super Golf. In this game you must shoot the ball into the hole with the least amount of attempts. Game features skins and shop systems, so you'll surely have something to do. Next game on our list is going to be Adventure Forward 2 Restored, a really nice although simple obby game with a story to tie it all up and a great soundtrack choice. And speaking of obbies, here's a game called Flood Escape 2, a direct sequel to a legendary game of the same name where you must escape death only with jumping and moving around. Next game on our list is going to be Lab Experiment, a survival game where, as the title suggests, you are being experimented on along with dozens of other players. In this game you must survive random disasters that occur every once in a while and make it to the end unharmed. And here's another game that you can play with your friends called Dingus, an unusual game about hiders who have to blend in with the crowd and perform the tasks, and hunters who have to remember every single NPC and kill hiders. Now I gotta say that the next game did pay me money to get advertised, but I'll show it anyway because it's good. Glare is a fast-paced shooter game with a multitude of game modes and a lot of weapons to choose from, but it also features a variety of settings to customize, including mobile controls and a really advanced weapons customization system where you can make literally any gun you want. There are also special kill streak abilities that you can use once you get enough kills, like Gunship or Mortar Gun. You can also get starting $500 using my code VIBE. Right now you can buy half of the attachments in the game for free, so be sure to be fast. Also, do you remember the game called A House With No Name from the previous video? Yeah, this is very similar, although with a different story. This game is called Quest for the Lost TV Remote, an unusually styled adventure game with 2 chapters where you have to do a lot of stuff and little puzzles in order to get the lost TV remote. And here's a game called Dream World, an unusual game about traveling through dimensions, or should I say dreams. This game has no particular objective, it's for those who want some exploration. Next game on our list is going to be Untitled Tag Game, a competitive game where, as the name suggests, you have to chase others or run away. It's a simple game of tag, but with various game modes, maps, cosmetics, and even modifiers. Next game on our list is going to be In Plain Sight 2, a fun competitive game where players on 2 teams, thieves and cameras, have to complete their tasks. Thieves have to steal all the items on the map, while cameras work together to laser them down and prevent a robbery. And then we have VR Soundspace, a cool rhythm game where you must test your timing and speed by aligning your mouse to the squares and hitting them correctly. It's actually quite easy, but still not enough to be boring. Next game on our list is going to be the game that everyone begged me to review. This game is called Ours, a really unusual Roblox game that you will not see everywhere else. In this game you have 15 different characters called hosts and over 32 unique time powers. As a host, you're supposed to clear out all of the levels without dying, which is extremely hard. 16th game on our list is going to be Abyss World, a game that you could consider both a platformer and an obby. Your goal is to get to the bottom of this really high mountain without dying. No, it's not as simple as it seems. This following game was suggested by this guy right here, so hey, thanks for that. This game is named Heroes of the Forest, an amazing adventure game with a cool but simple storyline to follow. This game has its own lore, collectibles to look out for, NPCs to talk to, and even boss fights. The next game is also a sponsor of today's video, but it's quite good, so you might want to stay. 19th game on our list is going to be the game called Maldives Resort, a simulator game where you and preferably your friends have to work together to successfully manage a resort. You can pick multiple jobs that you may prefer, like receptionist, chef, tour guide, and others. However, you don't only have work, but some personal life as well. With the money you earn at work and with the special code "Thanks for watching" on the screen, you can build and decorate your own house according to all of your needs. So go out and start playing because the link is in the description. Next game on our list is going to be Hexaria, a really nice card game that has some RPG elements. Fight enemies in a variety of environments with a multitude of cards that all have different buffs, attacks, and other stuff. Now that was the final game on our adventure list, so now let's talk about some spooky stuff like horrors. Game number 20 on our list is going to be Requiem, an extremely high-quality horror game about a ride in a prison where something or someone goes rogue and starts killing everyone. 21st game on our list is going to be Lost Rooms, a game that combines both horror and survival elements where you must scavenge resources at day and try to kill a monster that is hunting you at night. Also, I really just want to say that I have my own Discord server, Vibers, that offers a variety of bots to use, plenty of people to talk to, and a lot of interesting channels to use. The link is in the description, so feel free to join. Now let's go back to horror games. Pumpkin Pie Recreation. It's a simple styled horror game where you have to gather ingredients for a pumpkin pie. But as you can probably guess, something goes terribly wrong and now you're all alone. Next game on our list is going to be Rumination, a retro-styled horror game that was clearly inspired by the FNAF series with an interesting gameplay, albeit it's a bit boring at first nights. Next game we have is called the Crossroads Hangout game. It's a simple retro-styled horror game that's actually not so simple and it also has its own lore. Next game on our list is going to be Fears of Adam, Home Alone. This game is an amazing recreation of the same name game on Steam. In this game you must progress through a story of a certain person being left home all alone when a horrible event occurs. 27th game on our list is going to be Lightbulb Re-Illumination, a recreation of one of the most popular and oldest horror games on Roblox, where you must progress through a storyline while also avoiding shadows, because there may be something in them. Next game on our list is going to be Minus Elevation, a really strange horror game that also has some survival elements. You must push the buttons at each floor and to go further, and your end goal is to get as deep as you can. 29th game is Reflection, an unusual horror game that mixes both 2D and 3D environments for you to be in. Progress through the story while also avoiding death, because something or someone is surely after you. Next game on our list is one of the best backrooms Roblox games that you can find right now, and the name is World's Edge. In this game you have over 10 levels to go through, all while avoiding monsters or solving puzzles. Also, I just really want to say that this video was started back in December, so I might be late or early, who knows, but I just want to wish you Merry Christmas. Wait, are those cookies? We're done with horrors now, and what could you possibly want after getting scared? Yes, kill people. So let's take a look at some shooter and PvP games. 31st game on our list is going to be Dummies vs Noobs. In this game you have a multitude of weapons, equipment and classes to choose from, and you must survive waves of various NPCs attacking you. Next game on our list is going to be Illusions, a randomizer game that is filled with references to popular animes, games and shows and other stuff. In this game you must fight other players with up to 3 weapons that you get randomly in each spawn. Now another unusual game is called Dead or Brawl, where you have up to 4 classes to choose from. Virus Team has one task, destroy computer, while Fireball Security has the task to protect it. Another amazing fighting game is called Fighting. In this game you have over 10 classes to choose from, and each class has over 3 abilities, a so-called finisher and a passive ability. You basically have to kill people on the opposite team. That's it. But do you remember Illusions? Yeah, this game is the same, but it's all just memes. Item Asylum is a game where you get 3 weapons each time you spawn and where you can play on a variety of maps. This game's premise is also simple: kill people. Now the 36th game we have is Super Doomspire. In this game you must eliminate other teams by destroying their towers. You can do so with a multitude of weapons and game modes to play on. Now the next game on our list is going to be Merc Fleet, one of the fastest PvP shooters I've ever seen. In this action-packed game you must use a variety of weapons and unique abilities like Space-Time Manipulator. You can also use grappling hooks and grenades to propel your stuff to ridiculous speeds. Now we have one of the best survival games that you can possibly play on Roblox. You, alongside with more than 20 players, get released on an island, and your task is simple: escape. But you have multiple obstacles to face though, such as mercenaries, a monster, other players, and much more enemies to run away from. Next game is going to be Criminality, a serious high-quality crime simulator with you, alongside with many players, are in the town with no laws to keep the brutality in check. Get a weapon and fight other players, because otherwise you will surely die. Next game on our list is going to be Defend the Train. As the name implies, in this game you have to defend a moving train from those who dare to touch it. You have 3 classes at your disposal, each having their own strengths and weaknesses. And here's another game called Resurrections, a faithful recreation of Call of Duty Zombies, where you must complete several tasks in each map while defending yourself from the hordes of the undead. The next game we have is a realistic home defense, a game about defending a house from intruders. You may either play as defender or the intruder. Both teams buy weapons before the round starts, and when it begins, the massacre is in effect. But here's another game called Rampant, where you have over 30 classes to choose from, each having 4 abilities that you can use to kill other players. Next game on our list is going to be Flappy Man. In this game you play as a ragdoll man with one of the 9 classes to choose from, each having a certain loadout for them. You basically have to destroy other team. That's it. In the game called Michael Zombies, you have to defend yourself through the hordes of the undead with the help of a huge arsenal of weapons and perks to use. Next game is going to be Centaura, an amazing recreation of the horror you would see on the field of war. In this game you choose one of 6 classes and you go down to the battlefield, where you have to capture trenches in order to push your enemy backwards. Now you may be tired from shooting stuff, so I prepared some strategy and tower defense games that will actually make your brain work. 47th game on our list is going to be a tower defense game named Tower Blitz from the creators of Evade. In this game you have over 15 towers to choose from and over 20 maps to play on. And the next game we have is called Tower Defense Simulator. It's a game where you have over 40 towers to choose from, each having a specific set of upgrades that you must complete. There are also a lot of game modes and events happening in this game, so make sure to play this one. Now the next game is an amazing single-player tower defense game that is set in the retro age of Roblox, where you have to send units towards the enemy base in order to destroy it. You can upgrade your units, your abilities, and your base in order to become stronger. Now the next game on our list is going to be Medieval RTS, a good real-time strategy game where you have to build units, towers, and expand your territory as much as you can.
And the final game on our list is going to be the game called Evolve.
A PvP type of game where you have to create your own creature out of various materials, and you have to choose your own player style. You can be a predator that kills and eats everyone, a prey that just runs away and feeds off the dead bodies, or both at the same time.
And cut! We are at 9 minutes and 39 seconds. That was really close to our time limit, but we made it. Also, I just want to say that all of these games have been tested on mobile, but not all of them are comfortable as they would be on a computer. That's all I wanted to say, so have a nice day and goodbye.